80,000 defense contractors were just ordered to pass a mandatory cybersecurity audit, but only 100 auditors were actually legally authorized to administer the test.
Right. It was a complete mathematical impossibility.
And it threatened to crash the entire defense supply chain, forcing the government to just slam on the emergency brake. So the mandatory audits are gone, but the trap for companies faking compliance just got significantly deadlier.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, we're looking at a recent Department of War Inspector General audit and some official task force memos here. And the way this massive cybersecurity mandate just folded is wild.
And more importantly, how the fallout puts a massive legal target on your back if you do any business with the government.
Exactly. So the original target for all of this was the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, or, CMMC. The goal was solid secure the defense industrial base against these increasingly complex cyber attacks. But the structural flaw was baked in from day one.
Because you had, 80,000 companies requiring level 2 clearance?
Yeah, 80,000. And they were all being funneled into this insane bottleneck of roughly 100 third-party assessor organizations.
Wait, so they essentially built a giant cybersecurity toll booth, but, only open one lane.
That is exactly what they did. And honestly, the internal quality control completely collapsed. According to that IG audit, the government rushed the rollout so fast that they only checked 10 out of 12 authorization requirements for these assessors.
Before just turning them loose.
Right, before turning them loose. Yeah. And it gets worse because the accreditation body that was supposed to oversee this whole operation, they failed to get their own required ISO certification.
Oh, wow. So it's essentially like hiring a driving instructor to test you, but the instructor doesn't even have their own driver's license.
Yeah, pretty much. Because that oversight body lacked the fundamental certification, there was literally no baseline mechanism to standardize how different assessors scored a company. So a contractor's passing grade wasn't based on a universal standard. It became totally dependent on the luck of the draw of which assessor they happened to hire.
I mean, I could see how that leads to absolute chaos. Small businesses must have been bleeding money just trying to navigate that bottleneck to stay compliant. Which brings us to the breaking point, right? July 13th, 2026.
Yeah, the Department of War finally stepped in. They had to. I mean, the paralyzing compliance costs were just forcing innovative small businesses out of the market entirely.
Which delays critical tech from actually reaching warfighters.
Exactly. So the department immediately suspended all Phase II CMMC third-party assessments, and they launched a 60-day reform task force. The new priority is just speed and scalable security over bureaucratic red tape.
But then this is where the story pivots. The mandate to actually be secure didn't go away.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
And that's the crucial twist here. The third-party audits are suspended, yes, but the underlying baseline security standard, which is known as NIST 800-171 Revision 2, that is still fully active.
Hold on, I want to clarify what that actually means practically for you listening. NIST 800-171 isn't just some vague suggestion to use strong passwords, right?
Oh, not at all. It is a rigorous, legally binding list of 110 specific security controls. We're talking strict multi-factor authentication, physical access tracking.
Continuous monitoring, incident response protocols.
Yeah, hard technical requirements. And the Department of War is now reverting to Phase I, meaning they are relying entirely on self-assessments to enforce compliance with those 110 controls.
Which shifts the entire burden of verification onto you if you're a government contractor. Without an external auditor breathing down your neck, you might think, you have some breathing room. But that is the trap.
Precisely. Historically, self-attestation has just a terrible failure record because companies naturally overstate their security posture. And the Department of Justice, they know this. Their civil cyber fraud initiative is actively hunting down false claims.
So when you submit that self-assessment, you are signing a legally binding document.
Yes. And if you pause your security investments right now thinking the pressure is off, you are making a massive mistake. If a breach occurs and the DOJ finds out your internal system plans didn't perfectly match what you claimed,
they will use your own self-assessment against you.
Exactly. The legal risk actually goes up, not down, when you are the only one vouching for your own security.
Which leaves you with one major lingering question to consider. If the government couldn't even successfully audit its own 100 auditors, how on earth are they going to police 80,000 self-assessments without relying entirely on whistleblowers?